One of the things I noticed since turning 40 is that it has put a lot of life into perspective for me. For example, the fact that there are no do-overs. The choices I'm making now, the habits I'm instilling now, the way that I'm spending my time, all of these things that maybe when I was 20 were just kind of like, oh, I'll worry about that later. Well, later has come. I decided to start prioritizing some of these things that I know are going to help with my overall health and aging, longevity, prevention of injuries and illnesses, diseases, all of that. So I want to share with you today 9 habits that I have started. We're not just talking about diet and lifestyle, of course, but we're talking about emotional stuff, physical stuff, feminine health. We're talking about it all, okay? Even some of the taboo things. So buckle up. First, let's talk a little bit about diet and lifestyle choices. Diet is something that I feel like in your teens, 20s, 30s, there's so many different things that you can do or try. For the last handful of years, I had really focused on intermittent fasting. One of the things that I've learned about diet and food choices and things is the importance of protein as we age, especially for women over 40, the importance of getting good protein into your diet. It's kind of wild because it can even help lift your mood, help with your mental health. So choosing to eat foods that contain complete proteins twice a day can actually boost levels of mood lifting neurotransmitters in your brain, which can help with symptoms of low mood and poor energy. Don't sleep on eggs. Eggs are one of my favorite sources of protein, but you can also do fish and quinoa. Think beyond chicken and beef, okay, when we're talking about protein. And of course, don't neglect carbs. I feel like women, we tend to run screaming from carbs, but they actually help increase serotonin production in your brain, which helps boost your mood. The key is, though, to have your carbs with protein. So when you eat carbs by themselves, your body converts them into sugars faster than they would if you were eating them with something else to kind of help during the digestion phase. The other thing that I learned recently and have started implementing is that if you just go for a 10-minute walk after you eat, that can automatically help lower your insulin levels. Our insulin levels tend to spike right after we eat. And if you just go for a 10-minute walk, it can help to reduce that. Finish your meal, hop up from the table, and instead of going to sit down on the sofa or on your bed, get up and just walk around for 10 minutes. You can do it in your house, outside, wherever. I also noticed that it just helps with my overall digestion. Of course, I have to bring up not drinking alcohol. This is kind of a touchy one for people. People either love their wine and margaritas and stuff, which I've always enjoyed a nice glass of wine or a margarita here and there, but I can just tell you that my life is no less rich without them. And I love that I don't have to think about it, make a decision, worry about whether or not, well, if I drink tonight, am I gonna have a headache tomorrow? Sometimes the wine headaches and stuff. I just am saying no to alcohol 100%. And my life is no worse for it. I didn't drink all that often before. So it's not like I have this total turnaround health-wise that I can tell you about, a bunch of weight loss or something, because I never really drank all that regularly. But I am, again, thinking about the long term and wanting to prevent diseases and other things. And I just know that alcohol for me is an easy one to just say no to altogether. Obviously, we want to eat a really healthy, balanced diet and get as many of our vitamins and minerals and nutrients as we can through our food. But the reality is that can be really hard to do on a regular basis. I, for one, my blood panels always come back a little low here and a little low there. And so taking some kind of vitamin has always been something that I've struggled to incorporate because it just feels like, well, I got to take one of this and one of that, and I need one of these and another one of those, and I need to drink this. And it's always felt overwhelming to stay on top of vitamins that contain the actual things that I'm deficient in, the things that I need, and making sure that I'm getting the actual daily amount of those things. That is until I discovered Grüns. Listen, y'all know that when I find something I love, I shout it from the rooftops, and sometimes I can get a little hyperbolic about this has changed my life, but I'm telling you, these Grüns daily vitamin packs are the thing that I needed, okay? Just like Trainwell's the thing that I needed to help me work out. This is the thing that I needed to get everything packed into one convenient little easy package that contains the most delicious and tasty gummies that you have ever had. I look forward to my little gummy snack every single day. I get excited about it, and I'm honestly sad when it's over and kind of wish that I could eat 2 packages, but I'm not gonna do that, and I don't need to. Inside this one little package contains 8 of these tasty, tasty little gummies that are not just multivitamins. They're not just containing your greens. They're not just containing the probiotics that you need for the day. It's all of that in these little beauties and more. Packed inside of these little babies are over 20 vitamins and minerals and over 60 whole food ingredients. They genuinely taste like a fruit snack, even though there are no artificial colors or flavors in them. They genuinely still taste like a fruit snack. I'm gonna just eat these so I can finish talking without you having to listen to me chew. They're vegan, nut-free, gluten-free, dairy-free. There's only 3 grams of sugar in these, but there is a sugar-free option if you want that. Now, if you're wondering, Angie, what sets these apart from other vitamins, other gummy vitamins that I might take, or powders or anything like that? Well, not only do they contain all of those things in one product and more, Grüns actually takes care to make sure that they are actually effectively giving you the right doses inside of the gummies. Grüns contains 100% of your daily needs for the safe vitamins and 25% of your daily needs for certain minerals that are actually known to be potentially toxic if you have them at excessive levels. So basically what that means is that 99% of the supplements that you find out there can be kind of lazy and maybe even potentially harmful if you're getting way more than you actually need of that particular vitamin or mineral. And I bet you might be thinking that because they're gummies that's somehow not as healthy or something, but they're actually more bioavailable than a tablet, something that you would just swallow, as far as your body's ability to absorb the nutrients. Compared to other supplement formats, Grüns gummies are actually more absorbable. So at similar concentrations, your body actually utilizes the nutrients from Grüns better. And I'm wondering if you know that you're very often peeing your pills and powders. Basically, you're paying for expensive pee. Drinking water with your supplements actually decreases their effectiveness. You can skip all the powders and trying to stuff a bunch of pills down your throat and just chew on some delicious gummies and get everything you need. If you listen to nothing else I say in this video, trust me when I tell you that these Grüns Daily Vitamin gummy packages are 100% worth the money, but you don't even have to spend full price. So you can click the link down below in the description box and it's going to get you up to 45% off. To that I say, cheers to no longer wasting our time or money on products that don't actually deliver all the things that they promise. These little babies do. We have to talk about moving our body and exercising. This is incredibly important and something that I feel like, especially as we age, women tend to be afraid to step into the gym. It's more important than ever that you move your body. Whether you have to find something you enjoy doing, first of all, okay? So any movement is better than none. Many doctors will tell you, and research shows the importance of strength training, especially for women who are aging, us women over 40. We got to get in there and lift some weights, sister. It's going to help us in the areas that as we age, we're really concerned about. It's going to help us retain muscle mass. It's going to help us with our bone density, as well as with our metabolic health, okay? And we all know that as we age, hormones and things change, and sometimes we feel like our metabolism has been hit by a truck and is just laying there on the floor. Surprisingly, strength training actually helps with that. I've told y'all recently about how much I love TrainWell. That's the app that I use. It gives me a personal trainer where I can work out at home, but I have a personal trainer that kind of is directing the things that I'm doing, the exercises. I can tell her what's too hard, what's too easy. She can make adjustments for me so I don't even have to think about it. It's the 30 minutes. That's it, y'all. That's all that I was willing to commit to, was 30 minutes a day. It has made such a difference because not only does it help with my physical health, but it also helps with my mental health. This is no surprise to anybody at this point, but working out is really good for your brain, really good for your mental health. Strength training can actually help you when you're talking about maintaining your weight, kind of fortifying your muscles and joints so that you could prevent injury later as we become a little more fragile. No matter what your physical ability is, like start small, start wherever you need to, whether it's like cycling, swimming, yoga, hiking. There's so many different things that you can do and incorporate, but it's such a vital part. So if you're somebody who feels like, well, I don't love working out, I mean, it's never too early, but it's also never too late to start incorporating a good routine, some kind of fitness routine. But you have to do what works for you and what you can actually incorporate and stick to. So anything that gets us off the couch is a good place to start. Okay, now we can talk a little bit about sexual health. So one of the things that as we age and hormones come into play, well-known fact that libido kind of can drop for many women. Now, for a lot of women, especially in their 40s and early 40s, late 30s, it will skyrocket up, okay? But at some point, it kind of tends to start to go back down. There's a number of things, especially once you're out of your like childbearing years, that you can do. I mean, the doctors say it's for our health that we need to be hopping on the good foot and doing the bad thing more often, more frequently. Even if you're like, I don't feel like it, I'm tired. They say, wink, wink, it's like working out. Once you complete it, you're glad you did. You know, if you can just get started, you'll be happy to be there. It's often like getting from the hump of like mentally, I'm busy, I'm tired, to actually hopping on the good foot, takes a second mentally to get there. But if you can do that, it's actually good for your health, good for your mental health. Now, the other thing that I've started incorporating, and I shared about this month in my Unmentionable Mondays. If you're not signed up for that, you definitely want to be, probably want to be. I'll put the link down below in the description box. It's a place for us women to talk about taboo topics, things that I don't entirely feel comfortable talking about on the internet as a whole, like here on YouTube or something like that. But we talk about everything from feminine hygiene to sexual health to hormones, all of that kind of stuff. So you can sign up for those emails down below in the description box. But this month I actually shared about something called a V-steam. And you can Google this and look it up. I can even link you to some articles as well if you want to read a little bit more, because it's actually based off of an ancient practice that women around the world have done for a very, very long time. And it's something that's very easy to do at home. It's a steam for the Queen Mother. We're going to use YouTube friendly language here. It's a steam for the Queen Mother. It has benefits for fertility, obviously, but if you're past that fertility stage, it has many, many benefits for your menstrual cycle, as far as like easing painful cramps. If you're dealing with spotting and you want to kind of clean up that window, maybe you struggle with a lot of spotting at the end and you want it to like actually just cut off and be done. There's a lot of benefits. There's also a lot of benefits as you are going through menopause and things, helping with dryness, libido, all of those kind of things. Quite simple in terms of just involving some hot water, steam, herbs. You can do this like literally sitting on your toilet, but we're just giving a good steam to the Queen Mother. There's lots of different benefits. It's something I would highly recommend that you look into and consider trying if you're struggling in any of those areas. Next, we have to manage our stress. And I know what you're thinking. Well, my stress lives with me, and if I deal with my stress, I'm going to go to jail. We have to actually deal with the stress that we have in our life. The reality is that the cortisol levels going up from stress is really bad for you. It's bad for your waistline, obviously, but it's also bad for your heart. And if your heart isn't functioning properly, it can contribute to you aging faster. So we need to take good care of our heart, but we need to manage our stress. We need to maintain a good, healthy heartbeat. And there's a little exercise that I've been doing that you can do as well. I'm going to show you right now. It's very simple, okay? Especially as you get stressed out, you can do this. But even if you're not feeling stressed, you just want to make it part of your daily routine, I highly recommend you do this twice a day. Again, you can do this at a point of stress or just 2 times a day. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, mouth closed, in through your nose for 4 beats, then out through your mouth for 8 beats. Do this anytime you feel stressed, under pressure. I immediately notice my voice is calmed. I'm an uppity kind of person. I got a lot of like energy. I immediately feel calmer just from doing that one time. And you know why? Because it activates your vagus nerve, which runs from your brain to your pelvis. It relaxes your heart, it relaxes your muscles and your blood vessels. I highly recommend you manage your stress in a non-criminal way. The next habit I've been incorporating, and I recommend you do too, is to learn something new. None of us wants to taper off, right? I think we can all agree on that. So despite the old adage about not being able to teach an old dog new tricks, you can still learn new things, even over 40 years old. And what's happening in your brain when you're learning something new is it's actually increasing your brain's elasticity. It's going to stimulate your cognitive ability and your memory. And the studies show that older adults who learn new skills actually have better memory than those who don't. Learning something new can help slow your mental decline. It can help you from tapering off. Not to mention, it does actually help with lowering your cortisol levels as well. And lastly, is that I have been trying desperately to make a habit of staying positive. I've always felt like I'm a generally positive person, but I can definitely go dark real fast. And also being grateful. I, again, always have thought of myself as a grateful person, but I will realize that time has lapsed, that I've been just kind of curmudgeon-y. I feel myself becoming an old curmudgeon-y woman. And so I have to remind myself, no, don't get disheartened. Don't live in this place of like, Chicken Little, the sky is falling. I have to focus on having a positive mindset, of having a posture of gratitude in my life. No matter what's going on that feels overwhelming, too much, I want to run away from, I have to stay positive and grateful. And sometimes that means I have to be really intentional about doing so. So whether that's keeping a, gratitude journal or just someplace in your notebook. I have my little daily notebooks that I use, and I'll just jot down a few things that I'm grateful for, especially like at the top of the week in my little notebook. That way, every time I open that, because I open it every morning, I can see those things. I can add to the list if I want to, and it just reminds me to think about that, because sometimes I just get busy and distracted and I forget to even think about, am I being positive and am I being grateful, because I'm just going through the motions and trying to survive the day. I have to be intentional about even reminding myself to focus on positivity and gratitude. The truth is that this is it. We just have this one wild and wonderful life, and I certainly don't want to waste it, especially again, since turning 40, I just have this feeling of like, if this is not working, if something isn't working, I'm done. I don't want to do it. I don't want to waste any more time. I just want to focus on the things that really matter to me, because as I always remind y'all, you're going to have regrets in your life, but you have to choose your regrets. You have to choose what you can live with being regretful about. There's some regrets, there's things that if I get to the end of my life and am super regretful about that, I can't live with that. I don't want to live with that. There's other regrets that I'm like, yeah, well, I wish that had happened, but it didn't, and it's okay. I can get over it. It's important that no matter how delusional we have allowed ourselves to be over the years, that now, especially more than ever, we focus on reality, what's real, what's right in front of us, and we are brutally honest with ourselves and make the necessary changes to have the best second half of life that we can possibly have. Links for everything that I talked about will be down below in the description box. And don't forget to try Grüns. I really think you're gonna love them. You can get up to 45% off at the link down below in my description box. Subscribe if you've not already, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.